Hi friends. Now in this session we will see what are the common topics in FRM and CFA. Specifically we'll be focusing on FRM part 1 and CFA level 1 because there are a lot of students who are done with their FRM and wants to pursue CFA, or done with CFA and wants to pursue FRM, or they wants to pursue both the courses simultaneously. So common topics helps in reducing preparation time. This is very important from the preparation strategy perspective as well. So in this session, I will give you the information of what are the common topics. This is very important, and few notes for those who are done with FRM and wants to go for CFA, or done with CFA and wants to go for FRM. So one important note: if you are done with FRM and wants to pursue CFA or planning to pursue CFA level 1 specifically, then you don't have to bother about much about the preparation of common topics, because the topic coverage is similar or more or less same, but the exam difficulty in CFA level 1 is slightly easier compared to FRM part 1. On the other hand, if you are done with CFA level 1 or CFA level 2, just one note: FRM part 1 curriculum or examination specifically is slightly difficult compared to CFA level 1. So that thing you have to keep in mind, and you have to practice accordingly. Okay, so in FRM, exam questions are very tricky compared to CFA level 1. So keeping this in mind, you should prepare for FRM, right? So let's start with the first. So on the left side, on the blue section, you can see this is the FRM part 1, and then we have the CFA level 1. And just to give you the overview, before we begin the discussion, just one note about the CFA. CFA's curriculum is very well structured, so superbly structured. So you don't need self-study sequence and all these things here. On the other hand, FRM's curriculum is very haphazardly structured, so you will need a proper sequence for preparation if you are preparing FRM part 1. Okay, so you have to keep this in mind as well. Now in FRM, we have 4 subjects. So first is the book 1, Foundations of Risk Management. Book 2 is Quantitative Techniques. Then we have the Financial Markets and Products is a book 3. Book 4 is Valuation and Risk Models. We call it as a VRM. Okay. Now this is the one book, one part, FRM part 1. And then we have the CFA level 1. In CFA level 1, we have quantitative methods, economics, financial statement analysis, corporate issuers. Then in equity investment, fixed income, derivatives, alternate investment, and ethics. Now, in the first part, the first common overlap or the common area between these two curriculums or courses is in quants. So from fundamentals of probability till linear regression, you have common topics in CFA level as well. So you might see some difference in a number of topics. So what Garp did, Garp divided curriculum in multiple topics. On the other hand, here you have more or less like similar topic, but less number of topics, right? Here. Now, in this particular section, from fundamentals of probability till linear regression, we have slightly more discussion or some added discussions, few paragraphs or few concepts, 1 or 2 concepts more in FRM compared to CFA. And specifically in hypothesis testing, you have 2 or 3 extra concepts in CFA compared to FRM. So in FRM, hypothesis testing is very limited chapter. On the other hand, it is full-fledged chapter in CFA level 1. So that thing you have to keep in mind. Now, there is chapter time value of money in CFA level 1. This particular chapter is very important for FRM part 1, but not the part of your curriculum. So I would recommend you to prepare this particular topic. Very soon I will upload time value of money of CFA level 1 on the YouTube channel. So if you're pursuing FRM, I would recommend you to watch that particular video, because that video is missing. That chapter is missing from FRM curriculum since like 10 years. And this chapter is very important for to understand all the fixed income concepts, right? So you have to keep this in mind. Now, this is about the first section. Okay, and CFA level 1 stops at linear regression, but on the other hand, here we have few more topics. So multiple regression, regression diagnostics, time series, and so on. So the red indicator here, and there are new additions which I can't show it because I'm releasing this video before 1st of December, before Garp releases their curriculum. So I can't name the new topics which are applicable for the 2023. So here in this section, this particular section as well as this particular section, you have overlap of this particular quants with CFA level 2. Okay, so these are not different topic for FRM. So again, these topics will be covered in CFA level 2. So that thing you have to keep in mind. But I'm just comparing FRM part 1 and CFA level. Very simple reason. When you are starting new course, level 1 should be known to you and completely clear, like whatever you are doing in that particular level, you should know it. After that, so level 2 or part 2 of any curriculum is like you get used to that particular curriculum. So that's why we are focusing on just level 1s of both. Now here you have next section in CFA, which is not at all covered, irrespective of like directly or indirectly, not covered in FRM curriculum, which is economics. But in economics, we have this particular chapter, the currency exchange rate, and this particular chapter is covered in your FRM part 1. Okay, but the rest of the content is specific to CFA level 1 and not covered in FRM part 1. Now here in book 3, we have financial statement analysis, which is again the specific domain of CFAs, and hence it is not covered in FRM. Okay, so this is the second subject which is new in CFA level 1 compared to FRM. And here these are the topics which are again different compared to CFA level 1. Then you have the corporate issuer, really nice subject, but again not covered in FRM. Equity investment till this particular point, just a second. I guess, yeah, till this particular point. So equity investment is not covered in FRM part 1 or FRM part 2. I'm covering all the FRM. Majorly, if you consider FRM part 2, majorly all the concepts are new for you apart from the term structure of interest rate. Then there is overlap with CFA level 2, level 3 like that. But apart from that, there is no overlap in FRM part 2 and CFA level 2 or level 3 like that. Okay. Now, when we enter into fixed income section, now again, we have really good overlap, and majority of the concepts are same. So if you're prepared from one section like the CFA, then you can use those concepts in FRM. If you prepared it from FRM, then you can use those concepts in CFA. Now few paragraphs or concepts will be extra in each curriculum. Maybe in CFA level few concepts extra, and FRM curriculum few concepts extra, like that. But the major content is common. Like this is the properties of interest rate till applying duration, convexity, divisible. Again, modeling non-parallel term structure, you will get it in CFA level 2. Now here we have similar topics. So again, you have this advantage. Now when we enter into derivatives section, you have complete overlap. So in FRM part 1, more topics are covered compared to CFA level 1. Okay, so here you will see number of topics are more. Okay, previously there were only 2 topics in 2022 curriculum, but now they split it into multiple topics. Now here you have, like, I guess it is approximately 6, 9, 10 topics, and you have similar topics in FRM part 1. Okay, so now again the big overlap between FRM and CFA. Then we have modeling, modern portfolio theory and arbitrage pricing theory, which is again slightly common. Okay, not exact replica of this particular section, but the concepts like the CAPM, then we have the Sharpe's ratio, Trainer's ratio, and Sortino and all these are covered in this particular risk and return section, part 1 and part 2. So as per curriculum, there are 2 parts. Okay, so risk return part 1, risk return part 2. I combined it in single line item. We have one alternate investments, very small subject. This is completely new and unique to CFA. Portfolio management, you won't face if you are coming from FRM part 1 curriculum or FRM, then you won't face a lot of trouble in this area because all the complicated concepts are already covered in FRM. Now these topics are kind of easy, okay, not that difficult compared to like general curriculum. Okay, now ethics is again, because this CFA is ethics, obviously this is not going to get covered into FRM's curriculum, right? So there is big overlap, and then you have these concepts which are again unique and only covered in FRM part 1. Maybe I'm missing 1 or 2 topics here and there, so don't bother about it, but these topics are new for you. These topics relates to derivatives or related concepts like the rating system and volatility and all. So these topics are covered in CFA level 2, not level 1. Okay. Then we have these 3 topics, and again the remaining topics, the Black-Scholes-Merton model and the option sensitivity Greeks. Okay, so delta, gamma, vega, kappa, and so on. All these are covered in CFA level 2. So you have really good overlap. If we just focus on CFA, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 major subjects which are unique for your CFA curriculum. Now just added note, if you are coming from the combination of FRM and CA, Chartered Accountancy India specifically, then economics is covered in your CA foundation, Financial statement analysis is covered in your CA final. Corporate issuer is covered in your CA inter. Equity investment is covered in your CA final, CA final. Then you have alternative investment not covered and professional ethics not covered. So you have to study only 2 extra topics. I will also come up with the separate video for CA curriculum overlap in FRM or CFA. So wait for that particular video. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to this video. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone. See you in the next video.